feeling.
Yeah.
Like looking at a SWOT analysis, but it's just, I don't know, flat.
Yeah, definitely.
Like it's missing something. I was working on this project actually just recently, and SWOT, like strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, threats, just felt way too oversimplified.
Yeah.
Turns out I'm not alone.
No, not at all.
A lot of people think SWOT analysis is just, well, it doesn't really cut it. But what if there's a way to make it actually useful?
Oh, no, that's interesting.
That's what we're diving into today with Dr. Rod King's Fractal Grid approach. You familiar with that?
I am. Yeah. His work is fascinating, really challenges the way we think about strategy.
It does. And one of the things that Dr. King actually said, this is a quote, he said, "The SWOT analysis is one of the most controversial tools in business literature, but SWOT analysis is greatly misunderstood and maligned. The essence of SWOT analysis is as a framework for impact analysis, and in particular, trade-off from which strategy is designed."
Wow. Yeah, he really hits the nail on the head there.
It does.
So we need to unpack this maybe.
Yeah, definitely. So why is SWOT so controversial?
Yeah.
Because, I mean, it's been around forever, right?
Right. It's a classic tool. It's been taught in business schools, for decades.
Yeah.
But I think the problem is people often oversimplify it. They treat it like a static checklist, just, filling in the blanks.
Okay. Just kind of like tick the boxes and you're done.
Exactly. And they miss the bigger picture. You see, the real power of SWOT lies in its potential as a framework, a dynamic framework.
The framework.
Yeah, for understanding the impact of decisions.
Okay.
And ultimately making strategic trade-offs.
So how does Dr. King's, fractal grid fix this? I'm really interested by this idea of like zooming in and out. I mean, what does that even mean?
Okay, imagine a traditional SWOT analysis. Just picture it. It's like a very basic map.
Okay.
Like a map of a country. It just shows you major cities, maybe a few landmarks, but it doesn't give you any real detail, right?
Right, so it's a starting point.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. But the fractal grid, on the other hand, it's like having a series of maps.
Oh, like Google Maps or something.
Exactly. Where you can zoom in and out to different levels of detail. You can get the big picture, the overview, but you can also drill down, zoom into specific areas, to see what's really going on.
Okay, I'm starting to see it. So walk me through these levels. I really want to see how this zooming works in practice.
All right, so it all starts with what Dr. King calls level 0.
Level 0. Okay.
Level 0, and that's the core, the shared value. So this is the foundation, the bedrock of the whole grid, and it's all about defining the why behind the business. Simon Sinek's start with why. It's that idea.
I love Simon Sinek.
Yeah. Why do you do what you do? What fundamental value do you offer to the world?
Right, your core purpose.
Exactly, your core purpose. And this core value, it informs every other level of the grid.
Okay. So before strengths and weaknesses, you got to nail down your purpose. That makes sense. But how does that connect to the traditional SWOT stuff?
Good question. And that's where level 1 comes in, the enterprise level. Now, this is where we see those familiar elements, the strengths, the weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. But they're not just, floating around in a vacuum. They're all connected, see? They're connected to inputs, outputs, and stakeholders.
Hold on. Stakeholders. Can you unpack that for me?
Yeah, sure. It's not just about customers.
Right.
It's about everyone who has a vested interest in your business. Your employees, your suppliers, your investors, the community, even your competitors,
Wow.
Understanding how your strengths and weaknesses impact these different stakeholders, that's crucial for making really informed decisions.
So it's like SWOT suddenly becomes multidimensional.
Yeah, exactly.
I like that. So what about this whole zooming in idea? Where does that come into play?
That's level 2, the value chain. Now, this is where we really get into the nitty-gritty, the nuts and bolts of how your business operates. Your operations, your HR, your technology, your marketing, all the different components that make up your value chain.
Okay. So we're going from a satellite view down to street level.
Precisely.
But how does this change the way we think about SWOT? Give me an example.
Okay, so imagine you're a coffee shop owner.
Right. Okay. Love coffee.
Right. At the enterprise level, you might identify a weakness in your marketing strategy, and you might see that as a threat.
Yeah.
But by zooming into level 2, to your value chain, you might discover that the real weakness, the root of the problem, lies in your customer relationship management system. Maybe you're not collecting enough data on your customers' preferences.
Okay.
And that's hindering your ability to target your marketing campaigns effectively.
So you're pinpointing the root cause of the weakness, not just the symptom.
You got it.
Okay, that's really smart.
And once you understand that root cause, now you can develop a much more effective solution. You see, the fractal grid helps you uncover these hidden opportunities, these threats that a traditional SWOT analysis might miss completely.
So, I mean, this sounds great in theory, but for our listeners, why should they care about this fractal grid?
Because it's not just about filling in boxes on a worksheet. It's about understanding the interconnectedness of your business, of every aspect, every level. And it's about using that understanding to make smarter, more informed decisions, to really mitigate those risks and capitalize on those hidden opportunities. Like Dr. Ting said, it's a framework for making better strategies.
Yeah. You're not just identifying strengths and weaknesses, but you're actually understanding how they impact every level of your organization and all the people involved.
Exactly. And the beauty of the fractal grid, you can even integrate other tools like PEST lead analysis.
That's what?
PEST lead.
Okay.
It stands for political, economic, social, technological, legal, environmental, international, and demographic factors.
So like all the external things.
All the external factors that could impact your business.
Okay, so you're looking at the bigger picture too.
Yeah. Yeah. It allows you to analyze the broader context in which your business operates. You can anticipate potential disruptions, and then you can adapt your strategy accordingly.
It's like, now we're talking dynamic SWOT analysis.
Exactly.
So for everyone listening, I really want you to think about this as you're going through your day or working on your projects. Think about where you can zoom in.
Yeah.
With this fractal grid approach.
Yeah.
To maybe gain some deeper insights. What trade-offs might you need to consider? And here's a really big one. How would your industry look different? Think about that. If everyone adopted this kind of dynamic analysis, I think this is something really, really powerful.
It is. And, if you're really intrigued and want to dive deeper, I highly recommend checking out Dr. King's website. It's www.fractalgridding.com. You'll find a wealth of information, resources, case studies. Who knows, you might discover your own aha moment.
Your own aha moment. And that's what it's all about.
Absolutely.
Thanks for joining us on this deep dive.
It was my pleasure.
Until next time.
See ya.